At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. They make me wear this shirt and tie. I hate it. On the way over here, I ran 3 stop signs and 4 red lights. I almost killed somebody out there. But by God, it's my roads too. So I have every right to drive as fast as I want to, make the turns that I want to. I got over here to the school today and the parking lot's full, and I decided I was going to park wherever the hell I want to, which in this case happened to be a handicap. But I really hate my clothes. So it's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason. Can you stop?
Mr. Akers, I understand, I believe you're a swimmer, but if you would mind putting your pants back on for a comment, that would be appreciated.
This is a man named James Akers, a 15-year resident and parent in the Dripping Springs Independent School District in Dripping Springs, Texas. Akers made his point condemning anti-maskers in the most effective way possible by showing the other limitations on our freedom that we have to abide by, like, you know, wearing pants. And yet, miraculously, those freedom-loving patriots who can't seem to keep quiet about masks somehow don't throw a tantrum every time they have to abide by other rules put in place in society. Somehow they do manage to wear clothes in public and stop at red lights and not set buildings on fire without whining about how their liberty is being restricted. Imagine that. And yet at the same time, those people have suddenly found their life's calling in pushing back against mask mandates during a global pandemic where 630,000 Americans have already died. That's the hill they decided to die on, opposing safety measures during the 3rd biggest mass casualty event in American history. We've lost more Americans than those killed in World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam combined. And yet, Patriot Patty out here can't manage to wear a piece of cloth over her face because that minor inconvenience is just too much to bear, even though it'll help stop the spread of a deadly virus. And those are the same people who've anointed themselves the arbiters of all things patriotic. Yeah, no, that totally checks out. The simple fact is this. Mask mandates don't mean you're not free. We have rules that all of us in society have to abide by. When we follow those rules, that is precisely what does make us a free and functional democracy. Refusing to abide by any rules isn't freedom, it's anarchy. You wouldn't want people stabbing whoever they want in the name of freedom. You wouldn't want adults peeing in playgrounds or driving cars through your living rooms in the name of freedom. And no, we don't want people spreading a deadly virus in the name of freedom either. And sure, you might feel like your freedoms are being inhibited, but the rest of us have freedoms too. The freedom not to get infected by a deadly virus. So just to use some common sense here, my right to survive supersedes your right to do whatever you want. The truth is that we've humored these anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers and the anti-science crowd for far too long, and look what we have to show for it. A 4th wave of a pandemic that's now at its worst point ever. And that's with a free, life-saving vaccine readily available. That's what we get for constantly coddling this dwindling faction of Americans who think that vaccines turn people into human magnets and that masks are limiting your oxygen intake, or that horse dewormer is the magic solution that the government doesn't want you to know about. We've wasted far too many months and lost far too many lives coddling these people who seem to be more interested in playing doctor on Facebook.com than deferring to the actual medical experts. And if we continue to humor them, then it won't just be their fault, it'll be the fault of everyone who allowed that misinformation and disinformation to spread without bothering to do anything about it. And look, as far as these school boards across the country are concerned, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to those board members across the country who have stood up for what's right, who've implemented mask mandates and vaccine requirements, sometimes in the face of enormous pressure and vile threats. And for what may certainly feel like a thankless job, especially in the face of lunatic fringes of people yelling at you, there are so many more of us out there who appreciate those who are fighting to keep people, especially children, safe. So let's remember that just because you live in a district does not entitle you to anoint yourself that district's medical expert. It doesn't entitle you to decide who does or doesn't wear masks. It doesn't entitle you to decide what vaccines people should or shouldn't take. Those decisions should be left to the people who know what they're talking about, not those who've been proselytized by Laura Ingraham and Tucker Carlson. As for the Dripping Springs School Board, which has only recommended masks and not mandated them, they really should take to heart what James Akers said and what he did. Because at the end of the day, their responsibility isn't to the Republican Party, it's to the students who are getting hospitalized and dying from this virus in numbers that we've not yet seen before. This is an emergency, and we need people to start acting like it, especially those responsible for the well-being of children. In the meantime, the next time you want to complain that your freedoms are being infringed upon because you have to wear a mask, take a look around you and imagine no one has to wear pants, and you'll probably be grateful that we have certain rules in place for the benefit of everyone else. If you enjoyed that video and you're looking for a deeper dive, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. It's a no BS look at the top stories of the week, along with interviews with the top names in politics, like Vice President Kamala Harris, Jen Psaki, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Katie Porter, Pete Buttigieg, and more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, if you want to see more videos like this one, click the subscribe link right here on this screen to join the more than 1 million people who've already subscribed to my channel. And finally, to donate to my Don't Be a Mitch fund, where I'm raising money for a whole raft of different voter outreach and voter registration groups in the closest states ahead of midterms in 2022, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Texas. You can find that link on this screen as well. Thanks for watching.